The following video will analyze the technique of an amateur performing the clean and jerk. The video utilizes three guides. The green vertical line represents the desired center of mass for the system throughout the movement. This point has been determined using the heel arch of the participant's foot in the starting phase. The center of mass should remain on this line throughout the movement. The red line running horizontal indicates the transition point, which marks the point where the bar is once the elbow begins to flex. Finally, the blue line is the desired torso angle during the starting phase. Observe the clean and jerk in full speed. The video is paused on the starting phase. Here, it is important to examine the athlete's posture. The initial position of the athlete's torso is sufficient. However, to ensure balance, it is important to keep the back as linear as possible, mimicking the blue line shown on screen. This helps ensure that their center of mass is inside their base of support. Here, the athlete has achieved their desired outcome as their body position is correct. During the clean phase, the motion of the bar should remain close to the body. The intersect between the red horizontal line and the vertical green line that represents center of mass is the desired travel path of the bar, which would then continue along the center of mass until reaching their recovery position. Here it is clear that the bar is outside the desired area. The result of this is an increased effect on the moment of inertia, which means the athlete has to produce more work in order to lift the bar. Although only minute, this affects the efficiency of the movement. Newton's third law of motion is also important in this phase. The athlete loses contact with the ground as they lift the bar. Ideally, the athlete's heels will remain in contact at all times, which offers a stronger base of support. As the athlete's foot leaves the ground, it indicates insufficiencies in technique, along with not enough force being distributed towards the ground, which as a result leads to less force propelling the bar upwards in the opposite direction. Further, the weight being balanced on less surface area, in this case the ball of the foot, results in less stable support, which has a negative effect on the athlete's center of mass. As a result, the athlete moves anterior of their center of mass as they begin the next phase. The recovery phase is a time for the athlete to adjust their position, and it is imperative that their trunk angle is vertical. Here, the athlete has rushed between the two phases and not aligned their body correctly. This again impacts the center of mass of the system, which is imperative for the jerk movement that follows. After the recovery phase, the athlete should bend their knees to gain momentum in an upward direction to push the bar above their head and perform the jerk. In this example, the athlete dips too far down, which in essence makes the jerk harder to perform. Due to the rules of mechanical work and power, the athlete will have to apply more work on the bar to achieve the same power as the movement takes much longer. This makes the movement inefficient as the athlete is exerting more force than they need to. As the jerk is completed, the athlete creates a greater base of support by widening their stance to increase stability, due to the center of mass being more easily maintained inside the base of support. In this case, the athlete does widen their base of support, however it is not enough to fully support the potential weight they could be holding above their head. In order to enhance this movement, the athlete would have to achieve a greater distance between both feet, which are their points of support. As the bar is above the athlete's head, the feet move inwards, producing the base of support, which puts an emphasis on the small contact area. At this point, the system is a third-class lever, and distribution of weight on either side of the fulcrum needs to be even so that position can be maintained. Observations made of the techniques shown indicate areas of improvement for the athlete. The athlete can follow a training guide developed using the biomechanical principles discussed. As a result of a training plan, the athlete should aim to become more efficient in their technique and reduce unneeded force exertion.